All right, welcome everyone to the community call number 90 already. It's September 6th, and I'm your host, Marc Duiker, one of the Dapr community managers here from my hotel room. So as I mentioned, I'll probably stop the video to allow some more bandwidth, so there's a bit less hiccups. Let's get started. So today we have Luca here to talk about the Dapr operator for Openshift. It's been an exciting announcement. So welcome, Luca. Then we briefly touch on the Dapr survey, which is now closed, and you can expect some results from it soon. And then we'll do a little community show and tell as usual. So I'm going to hand it over to you, Luca.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay. Let me know if you see my screen, because I don't see anything.
We see need your slides. Yeah.
Maybe I'm going to make it
bigger.
Press
the slide. So yes, perfect. Yep,
okay,
it's good.
First of all, thank you for hosting me here. That's very exciting for me. It's been a long time since I spoke to a large community or something interested like that. So I'm very happy to be here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what I did for making Dapr working on Openshift or easy to deploy on Openshift. So first, let me say something about myself. My name is Luca Burgazzoli. I'm based in Italy. Here you can find my Twitter handle or X handle and my GitHub repository homepage. I'm working at Red Hat, where I am a senior principal software engineer, where I do almost like integration, and in particular with Apache Camel, for which I'm part of the PMC, and I'm the co-creator of the Apache Camel K project. I'm not going to talk about those projects today. So how things started, I had Dapr on my radar since a long time, but I never had the actual time to really look into Dapr a little bit more than just reading a few things on the internet. So I decided to step in and have a better understanding of Dapr. So I found this issue, which is quite an old issue right now. But because I'm doing, as you can imagine, things related to Kubernetes, Openshift, and operator in my day-by-day job, I took this one and I said, okay, let's start looking at implement what is required by this issue. So the thing is, I think that it's important to understand why there's this issue. And this is because if you are familiar with Openshift, I don't know the knowledge that you have about Openshift, but in Openshift, there's a lot of words here, but I'm not going to provide a gist. No one is supposed to read everything. But anyway, the operator has a key concept on Openshift, because Openshift Container Platform in particular, starting from version 4, everything is essentially an operator. And to manage the operator, Openshift provides something named Openshift Lifecycle Manager, which is, if you want, yet another operator, which take care of installing, configuring, upgrade operator on your platform. And so, operator has a central role in Openshift. Dapr provide already an operator which works on Kubernetes, but the thing is, how can we make this operator something which is natively integrated with Openshift, or at least with the Operator Lifecycle Manager, which I'm going to call OLM from now on. And the thing is, the OLM require a specific way of packaging your application so that then the operator or the OLM can kick in and install, upgrade, and managing the life cycle of your operator. So this is essentially what I did. I created and packaged the operator in a way that is compatible with the Operator Lifecycle Manager. So now that we I said operator are a central part of Openshift. There's a question is like, how do you discover, how do you find operator, and how do you install them on Openshift? So in Openshift and in Red Hat, we have this concept of operator hub, which is a hub where you can find, you can find operator. There's different flavor of this hub. The operator hub, which is the community one, which is where you can have operator for any kind of operator essentially provided by the community. Is not supposed to provide operator that are supported, but you can find practically almost everything. This operator hub is also supposed to be something that serve operator for any kind of Kubernetes platform. So when we talk about operator hub, then you can install your operator not only in OpenShift, but in any Kubernetes platform where OLM is installed and configured. However, Red Hat has also another marketplace, which is the second one, the operator hub in the second link here. Sorry, the third one, where people can contribute operator, community operator, for example, that are going to be available to any OpenShift installation. So if you operator ends up into that marketplace, then everyone that has an OpenShift is going to see your operator, is going to be able to install your operator. I have just one other slide, then we go into the most important part, which is like a demo. Here we go a little bit more in some technical detail of the operator. I'm not going to talk about all the implementation choice and things like that at this stage, but I can do in another session if anyone is interested. So I started from the fact that Dapr already have an option to already have a chart that can be used to install and deploy Dapr on Kubernetes. So I wanted to avoid to reinventing the wheel, having yet another way, a completely different way of deploying the operator, but I wanted to leverage Helm as much as I can. So, you create Helm, and then that is the one that rule any kind of installation of Dapr. Since I'm not really knowledgeable about Dapr, bear with me if I say something which is not 100% accurate. If you end up, or if you want to create an operator for OpenShift or dealing with OLM, at the end of the day, you end up dealing with the operator SDK, which is just a framework that helps you to package operator or build operator with different language. As you can see, there is a different language supported by operator SDK or different technology like Ansible and Go, depending on the level of complexity of your operator. And you might expect that I just took the Helm support for the operator SDK and then I just deployed operator to the marketplace. Unfortunately, because of a number of issues I found while working with operator related to about how Helm works itself, or even the chart for Dapr have some particularities that make it not easy to integrate with the operator SDK Helm support. And also issue in the operator SDK itself, I create another operator, which is completely based on a Golang, which is just yet another controller for some custom resources, which still leverage, but behind the scenes still leverage Helm as much as possible. So again, we can have a single place where we define how Dapr is configured, installed in Kubernetes, and then it's going to be spread across all the different technology that you can use to install Dapr. This is pretty much everything I have for the slide. So now let me move to OpenShift. I'm making it a little bit bigger, just wait a second. Okay, so this is the landing page of an OpenShift cluster. This is my OpenShift cluster that I use for testing my stuff in Red Hat. And as I said, we have a marketplace. So if you go in this section, Operator Hub, then you can see we have a list of all the operators that you can install on this OpenShift. And here, and of course, you can list the installed operator. I have a bunch of operators already installed it for my day-to-day work. Here, if we search for Dapr, then you can find that it's available like any other operator. There's no difference. It's just there. So now we can go into the process to installing it, which is just a wizard that goes classic wizard, nothing particular. And here we have some detail of the operator. Some interesting is that this is a community operator. It's not meant to be supported by Red Hat in any way. We have some capabilities of the operator. At this stage, the operator do not provide too many capability. Is mainly supposed to install Dapr, and then we can evolve it later on if we want. So let's go and install it. Here we can pick a number of things, for example, the channel, or where you want to install the operator as a cluster scope or a namespace scope. In this case, the operator is supposed to work on just a cluster level. We don't have support namespace at this stage. And how you want to upgrade it. So you have automatically manual upgrade. Automatically means that every time a new operator is released to the operator hub, then the OLM will take care to upgrade the operator to the latest stage. So let's install it. It will take a little bit of a while. Hopefully not too much, but it's a live demo, so things may happen. Okay, so now the operator has been installed, it is ready to use. So if you go here, we can see that Dapr is among the other namespace, is manage all the namespace, and here we have a list of provided API. So now once we have installed this operator, we don't have actually any Dapr service running. So we don't have the Dapr controller, Dapr operator, or sidecar injector, anything. At this stage, we just installed this operator, and we need to perform yet another step to get Dapr working. So as you can see here, we have a number of API. Most of them are something that you are probably familiar with. So subscription, component configuration, and other comes from the Dapr operator. And here we have a new one, which is the Dapr control plane. This is the customer source, which let you configure your installation of Dapr on Openshift. So to make that possible, to make that instance working, so we create an instance, and here we have a demo, a sample of the customer source. So at this stage, this customer source is pretty simple, and the only configurable part is values, which is nothing more than the values you usually pass through Helm. Because as I said, behind the scene, the operator still leverage Helm to render the resource that must be deployed on Openshift. So let's just change something for the sake of see something working. I add something here. Sorry if I do copy and paste, but I don't recall things by memory. So let's change those things. So we are just changing one parameter of the Helm values. So we expect just the operator to log a JSON. So we created it, and what happened behind the scene is that the operator hopefully will take care of deploy all the Dapr resources to the namespace where these resources are being created. And as we can see here, is ready. So if we switch view and go in the Openshift developer view, for example, now we can see that there's a number of resources that have been installed. So the console doesn't look very nice, but we have, those are the pods, the deployments for the sidecar injection, Sentry, and the Dapr operator, plus stateful set for the placement server. And this is the pod for the operator. So let's get back to the administration go to the started operator, Dapr, and see the instance of the Dapr contemplate. So at this stage, we expect Dapr to have only one installation per cluster. So if you try to create another instance, Dapr bar, for example, then what happens is that this customer source is going to be in error phase because the Dapr operator do not support deploying multiple instances of Dapr, at least at this stage. Delete this one. Okay, so now that we have installed the Dapr, we can actually install an application. Let me see where I am. Okay, so we can switch to another namespace, which is a Dapr fast, which I just created, and then we can install an application which has been implemented by Mauricio, which is a simple application that we are using for testing the operator in this CI/CD pipeline, but we can use the same one. So if we, here we have our application which is starting. This application is supposed to set up a Redis for state store, and then a small application to read and write things to the store. Unfortunately, there's a need to patch this installation because there's something that do not work out of the box on Openshift. So at some point, this application should be started. Let's speed things up a little bit. I'm sorry for the mistake. At some point it should work, hopefully, but I'm pretty sure it might have forgot something and things are not going to work. Okay, so the Redis has now started, and in some time we should see this one working. Let's speed it up. Okay, so now it's working, and we have so here we are oh, sorry, I don't remember all the details. So here we have the application which has created a service. This service is a service which is a Kubernetes service. We can expose this service, so it's available as a route. Okay, so here we know which is the route, the public cloud, which is available to test our application. And what we can do is first see what we have here. If we have something in the state store, of course. Next time it will be better. I promise. Okay, so we don't have anything here. Well, let's use something better. Okay, so we don't have anything here because we don't have we didn't send anything to the store. Let's try to write something. Write message. Right. hello. So then we wrote something, and then if we go the get again, then we see that we have king in the sort. So this, that is something that we were expected to see working, because it's just Dapr. There's nothing that the operator does here, but it's just to prove that the installation performed by the operator is working. So now, I don't know if there's any more time, but I just want to show something which is relevant. So the Dapr Openshift operators. So now here we have the deployment, for example, for the control plane, and if we change it, so for example, we can say, oh, we want to actually change the, okay, so we can change the, I think I did it wrong. Yeah, it's not this one, probably what I tried to change last time. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, sorry. Here's this one. Okay, so as maybe you remember, we configured the to log as JSON. So now we can say, okay, I want to change it. And if we can change it, then what happens is that the operator will take care of pre-configuring Dapr so that is reconfigured the way you expect it to be configured because of the values of JSON. So this is what happened. And as you can see here, the operator will put back the log as JSON here resource as expected. Of course, we can also change control plane the resource here and say, okay, we want to make it false. And then and that operator, that should be reflected. Here we see that there's no more log and JSON. Okay, so I think I'm done with my presentation, which took longer than expected. I'm sorry for that. And yeah, thank you. If you have any question, I'm here.
This is totally fine, Luca. Thank you very much. This is really good to see you, indeed. Yeah. Kudos for persisting with the live demo. You did well. You did well, really.
I was supposed to be faster, but unfortunately, two different tools made my life a little bit not the same as usually.
If this didn't happen, it wouldn't be Kubernetes.
Yeah, that's true.
So no, really great stuff. Thank you for Dapr maintainers and the Dapr community. I've already talked to a few OpenShift users using Dapr who are really excited about this. So this is really great stuff. Thank you, and thank Mauricio also, Salaboy, for helping out with this. Yeah, this is really great.
All right. If there are any other questions or comments for Luca, unmute yourself.
Nothing from my side. If you have any question, just reach me out.
Yeah, exactly. All right, then let's continue. All right. VS Code. All right, let's give a oh, no, we've done all this. Right, a quick update of the state of Dapr survey that's now closed. Over 150 people gave their information, which we're very thankful of. The report is now being composed, And then it will still be then it's going to be designed. So it's going to be ready quite soon. If you want to be one of the first to receive it, you can still go to this link, put your email in here, and then you'll be one of the first to receive this report. If you don't fill in your email, the report will also be available on the Dapr website later as well. All right, now it's time for the community show and tell. So what has been happening in the community with Dapr. Quite some blog posts. Again, let me go through them one. The first one is definitely the most important one. It's another Dapr case study written by InDNA, an Indian software startup. But they did a project for the HDFC Bank for creating a service for a unified payments interface. It's a pretty big project, and they use Dapr. So please have a look at the CNCF use case. We're very happy that this is now published. Another one posted on Medium from Harshil Kansagara is the introduction to Dapr. It's just a good introduction to Dapr and the benefits of event-driven architectures. Another post on Medium is another introduction post, Dapr microservices by Balaji Viyakumar. Then on Dev2, we have a WASM related blog post about WASM and Dapr by Teng Chung. Then we have a blog post by Thomas Petchak on deploying Dapr sidecar to Azure Container Instances. I don't think I've seen this combination before, so it's definitely worth a look if you're Azure. And finally, there's another post related to Compose and Dapr State Store in Turkish this time. So definitely use some good translate for this. It's very nice to see indeed also some localized blog posts. It's good to see that Dapr is used not just on US English-speaking countries. That's quite cool. All right. Those are the blog posts. Then some other posts on Twitter and LinkedIn. Crystals posted this on Twitter, and he made a Postman collection with all the Dapr APIs. So if you quickly want to run a Dapr, execute one of the Dapr APIs, you can actually download this Postman collection, because for all of the building block APIs, it's all written out there. So that's actually quite nice. Will did his session at the Cloud Native Summit in Australia, which I think was also announced during the last community call. Then there is another smaller blog post in Polish this time. I actually couldn't get this to translate because translation didn't work. So I still hope to find out what was actually written in. So as always, please join your Dapr Discord if you have something either that you created yourself, a blog post, a video, or you see something else out there in the wild. Feel free to post it in the show and tell channel on Discord, because it will make my life also easier when I aggregate all this information. And as last time, I'll also post all of the links that I found in this show and tell channel, so you can also easily find it. I'll stop sharing now. Is there anything else you would like to ask, comment about? Now would be the time.
Hey, Mark, I actually have an update about the security audit for Dapr for 23. Yeah,
go ahead.
So let me share my screen real quick. Okay, let me know when you can see it.
Because yeah, there it is. Yep.
Can you see the blog post from CNCF?
Yep.
All right, cool. So I'm really happy to announce on behalf of Dapr maintainers and the steering committee that the project has completed its 2023 security audit, increasing enterprise confidence, and CNCF released this blog post a few minutes ago. This blog post was written by me and also cross-published in the Dapr blog. So if you go into the Dapr blog, you should be able to see pretty much the same thing. And then it also links to the full report, which you can find here. Overall, we are very pleased with the assessment. The assessment was very thorough. It went for over 3 months and was a joint collaboration with ADA Logics, which is the security vendor conducting the audit, and CNCF and OSTIF, which is the open source foundation that leads security best practices for many CNCF projects. So this was really like a major cross collaboration. We're really thankful to the ADA Logics team, specifically for Adam. Don't know if you're on the call or not, but this has been great. And overall, only 7 issues were found. None of them were of critical or high severity. 4 were considered moderate, 2 low, and 1 informational. We've fixed all of them, maybe except for a low severity one that's still in progress for 113. So the outcomes is pretty great for us. We've also highlighted a few learnings here. And yeah, like I said, the full report can be found here, and this is what it looks like. We've also added it to the Dapr docs. So if you go to Dapr docs and you search for security audit, you should be able to get the same link where you can look at all of the different issues and how they were remedied and their severity and project summary. So this joins an earlier audit that we did this year for fuzzing, and done also by ADA Logics, and this really concludes Dapr's security audit for 2023 and for the first half of 2024, actually. So yeah, if anyone has any questions, or if you find something that you think we should have covered and didn't, please talk to Dapr maintainers, and we'd love to hear feedback. So I'm going to stop sharing, and back to you, Mark.
Great, thanks, Yaron. And yeah, it's good to see that the report itself is also available on Dapr, so people can read all the details. That's great. All right. Looking at the chat, Chris has a question. Hello, everyone. I wish to learn about queries in Dapr. I'm attempting to use it via Redis, but it's not functioning as expected. Could you please discuss this? Maybe we need like a bit more information. Feel free to unmute Chris. I haven't used like queries with the state management API myself.
Oh, hello. You hear me?
Yes. Hey.
My English not very well, but I'll try it.
Sure.
I'm trying to carry in Mogul, but it not work. I don't know.
Are you trying to use the query API by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm to the documentation. I follow it, but not worked.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw your message on Discord today, so we can certainly follow up there. Just because I don't think we have enough time here to start a live debugging session, although that would be interesting. So yeah, I will follow up with you on Discord. But just so you know, there wasn't like an official decision being taken, but the query API has not received updates in a very long while. And that's because on the project level, we want to start looking into document style APIs, which will give more advanced unstructured query capabilities for databases like MongoDB and others that support it. So going forward, I'm not sure at this point, can't confirm absolutely, but I don't think the query API will see many more additions, including sometimes even bug fixes. So if you run into a bug, I'm not sure what we'll be able to do about it, even for 113, which is the version that's going to be released by the end of the year. And yes, Paul just put a reference to the document API proposal that's going to supersede and hopefully replace the query API. Yeah, let me check up on you, Paul, see if it's actually the correct one. Yes, it is the correct one. So we're going to be looking into implementing that for 113, 114. I don't know, it's not triaged yet, so can't really tell. But for now, if we can work to unblock you on the existing query API, then yes, I will talk to you on Discord.
Okay, thanks. I
No problem.
appreciate it.
Okay, Ron, thanks for the update. Super. All right. If that's it, then I wish everyone a nice day and see you at the next Dapr community call.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
See
Thank
ya.
you. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.